Hello ladies and gentlemen, so the time has come for me to make a 10,000 mile review on this Chinese scooter. This is Tao Tao Evo, also called Huracan, originally 50 cc's, but now it's 80 cc's since I put a big bore kit on it. I have a 5,000 mile review on my channel. This is 10,000 mile review. Now the speedometer is in kilometers, so if you look for those videos, the first one would be 8,000 kilometer review, and this one is 16,000 kilometer review, which is 10,000 miles. So let me first tell you how this scooter is mostly used. During the summer months, the scooter is used a little bit less, since I also have a motorcycle and it's more fun on a motorcycle in the summertime. However, when I have some loads to carry, for example some heavy shopping, thanks to that platform on the floor between my legs here, I would use a scooter for that. Also in the bad weather, when the speed is not really a necessity but rather comfort of having all controls by hand, I would take the scooter. The scooter is also used in the winter time. For that I will change the front and rear tires to mud tires, and I'll get better traction in the snow and ice. I would like to show a couple of more modifications that I made on the scooter. In particular, I changed completely out the air filter box, which I'll show you in a little bit. I have a new carburetor, which is PZ19, the simplest form. It does not have an accelerator pump, but I don't really need it on that. I like the simplicity, and it has just a little choke lever for cold starts, and nothing fancy, nothing electronic. For that carburetor I also needed to change the intake, which I'll show in a little bit. As far as repairs go, the light switch, I think I mentioned it at 8,000 kilometer review. The high-low beam switch is failing. I think this is my third one, but they are super cheap, and last time when I bought them, I bought like 5 pieces, so I'm not worried about anything failing on this scooter. If this one fails, I will just replace it. I have like 4 or 5 of them at home. I needed to change the front brake caliper. The time came when I needed to change the front brake pads, but the caliper was so rusted out, I was not able to remove the brake pads, so I ended up buying the whole new caliper. It was about, I believe, $35–40 online. And once I lost the compression, for that I wanted to change the piston rings. However, the piston itself was not that expensive, and I just replaced the piston with the rings. It came out to $20, and this setup is working fine. The loss of compression, as I understand, and after the investigation that I made, happened because one of the valves was leaky. So I misdiagnosed it. I got the piston, changed the rings, but then I ground the valves, and during that process I also noticed that that valve was leaky, and officially in my theory it was a faulty valve altogether. I also broke a belt but that was my fault, because I actually went 5,000 kilometers on the same belt, and very close to home it just snapped. I just pushed the scooter home. I had the replacement belt at home as well, no big deal. I changed the front variator because the rollers, they ate some grooves into the roller beds. So I decided to replace that so that the rollers would move smoothly in that variator belt. And one of the engine mounts went bad. I replaced them on both sides. They are right here where the engine and the wheel connect to the frame. Let's take a look at the changes now. First, here is the new air filter. Now, because I have a little bigger size cylinder, I actually drilled some holes underneath this air filter so that it would take in more air. I'm not sure how well it's seen here. Now you can see it. Okay. So this is an air filter, and this is a tubing that goes into a PZ19 carburetor. Okay, let's move around the scooter here. This is a carburetor, and in front of it, if you can see, it has an aluminum intake. I believe they are used on the Tao Tao dirt bikes. And this setup is working pretty well for me. Now the engine mount that failed is the one over here. If you can see, it's like a silent block type rubberized mount. It needed to be pressed out and a new one pressed back in. And I mentioned the front caliper, which is replaced. The headlight was replaced, but I spoke about it in the other videos. Now, during the winter time, I had hand guards, self-made hand guards on the steering, and they did damage a little bit of plastic. And now the scooter, and I can understand now that this plastic eventually will need a black tape. So when you see a scooter with black tape and you think it will never happen to you, think again. I think it will happen. And now let me say a couple of things about quality. The quality is okay. I still maintain the quality on these scooters is okay. At the same time, you do end up getting to know your scooter so well that nothing can break on it that would make you afraid. If the belt breaks, I'm not scared, I will replace it. If the wheel bearing breaks, I'm not scared because I replace it, I know how to do it. If whatever thing breaks, something electrical, variator, you know how to fix it because you had it already for 3 years. You already have 10,000 miles on it. So nothing can break that would make you afraid. If you, from get-go, you've been fixing the things yourself. So really low stress level machine in that sense. And at the same time, it feels like I'm spending less time fixing it finally and more time riding it. And there are no longer any modifications needed. I found my golden standard that I want, and I have it, and everything works fine. And from day one, I've been maintaining the scooter in a way that I want everything to work 100% on it. If something breaks down, I'll fix it as soon as I can. No waiting around. And the final words, this is my donkey. It's my little work donkey with its limitations, but it's still my best friend. It does its work. If you want to get down and dirty, just go get one for yourself and enjoy life and new knowledge that you will receive. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.